Good evening, my sensational things. Welcome or welcome back. I'm Kasara, for those of you that don't know. And this is my Cavern of Secrets. I hope you all are doing amazing and you're having a good week thus far. Hopefully I don't keep going ghost like I did during Diablo Wednesday. Maybe possession is real and the game was having an effect on me because I kept going in and out. Anyways, tonight I'll be reviewing You Won't Be Alone, which sounds pretty ominous. The film takes place in 19th century Macedonia. It's also a foreign film directed by Goran Slavoski. The movie is about a peasant girl, Nevena, who is kept in isolation by her protective mother in hopes of keeping her safe from a witch she promised her to when she was an infant. Unfortunately, she is eventually found when she turns 16 and taken. Once in the care of the witch Maria, Nevena is turned into one herself through a ritual and taught how to be a witch. Nevena, however, wishes to experience the world around her, falling in love with the animals and becomes curious of the villagers. Maria eventually abandons Nevena because she grows tired of her unwillingness to be her or become like her. She sees Nevena kind of like, foolish, weak, because she sees animals as playthings instead of food. Wants to run and play and just enjoy this new world. Whereas Maria just sees it as survive and move quickly from place to place, never staying in one place too long because of villagers. The movie focuses on Nevena's exploration of the world above as she learns about humanity through loss and love. I don't really want to give too much away, so that's pretty much all I'm going to say at this point about the plot. It is a slow movie, kind of like The Witch. However, I actually like this one far more than The Witch. I actually hated that movie so much. I felt like this movie, You Won't Be Alone, was more like a fairy tale. Like olden times fairy tale. Except in this one, I sympathized with the witches. I think they did a great job in portraying them. It reminded me a little bit like Sleeping Beauty, because Maleficent curses the baby and the baby goes into hiding until their 16th birthday, which was similar to this story, but instead of the child ending up sleeping, the witch ends up taking the child, kind of like Rapunzel, but doesn't lock them in a tower. Instead, they traverse the land together, never staying in one place too long, and teaching the child about being a witch, which I actually like that story much better. It was a much more interesting story to me. So here's where I'm going to get into spoilers, because I want to share what I thought of the ending to those of you that have seen this one already and are curious what I thought. Because some people were not really confused by the ending, but I found that some people didn't understand why, I guess you could say, why things happened the way they did in the end. So, if you haven't seen the movie, don't watch this part. It is available on Peacock, so if you want to see it and you don't mind slow burns, go give it a watch. So, spoilers. I found Maria's backstory tragic. She longed for a family and instead received something far worse. She was forced to lie with a man with a deadly illness and got sick herself in hopes of giving herself strength or curing her illness, or I don't know what she was thinking. She decided to drink cow's blood to give herself strength. I don't know why you would think that, but now this was 19th century, so I should say this was the 19th century. So it kind of makes sense they didn't understand things like we do today in terms of medical science, so I'm guessing that might have made sense back then. I don't know. The villagers discovered her and burned her as a witch, which completed the original witch's spell and transformed Maria into a witch herself, but only after her body had been left horribly burned and scarred. I couldn't blame her for despising people and being untrusting of them. However, what she did to Navenna was uncalled for, in my opinion. The man Navenna fell in love with, he knew she was a witch. In one scene, you actually saw her claws, and he saw them, but he didn't care. He actually kissed them. So, to me, that means that he loved her for her. I believe that's what that symbolized. In my opinion, that's what that symbolized. So, he didn't turn her in, so therefore he didn't care. Meaning he didn't deserve his fate. And Maria had no right to harm the child either. I think she was trying to teach Navenna a lesson that people are not trustworthy and will hurt you the first chance they feel you are different from them. Navenna would not listen to her when she kept appearing to her and warning her constantly. So Maria took matters into her own hands. Maybe she thought she was protecting her, but in the end, Maria hurt Navenna by trying to take everything she held dear to her away like she had in the past with her first biological mother. I know Maria lacked empathy. You actually saw it when Navenna was playing with the fireflies and Maria just killed one. Didn't understand why Navenna was so fascinated with them. She failed to see the beauty in the world around her, like Navenna did. She didn't quite understand. And Navenna also was able to learn maternal love and what that really meant from associating with the mothers of the children she replaced in the villages that she lived in with these people. And I think that's why before Navenna killed Maria, why Maria said to her, "Why was it so easy?" She didn't understand why Navenna could trust them so easily, where she couldn't. I think that's what she meant. I could be completely wrong, but I think that's what she meant. Why it came so easy for her to blend in and love them. Even when they did horrible things to her. Like the first village that she lived among. The men were harsh to her, physically harming her. And she stayed up until she committed a murder. Then she left. Had to, and move on. But I think through the different people that she lived through, she learned. Maria never did that. She just stayed away from the get-go. For those of you who have seen this one, what did you think of it? How would you rate it? Let me know in the comments below. I honestly would personally give this one a 3.5. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. It's not like the best movie I've ever seen. I don't even think it's a horror movie, in my opinion. I don't really know what you would call this one. Uh, it is something I'd have to be in the mood for if I were to watch it again. That's part of why it has a medium score. I like how it took a different approach to witches. It had a similar feel to the new Gretel and Hansel film, the 2020 film. I liked that one. I liked the old school folklore type fairy tale feel of it. I think they did a really good job kind of returning to the roots of the story. And that's kind of what this one was for me. So, I heard that the Gretel and Hansel movie actually has video games too. I don't know if that's true. I'm gonna have to look into that. But I found that out when I was trying to figure out when that came out. I saw that there was a video game and I was like, wait. Because it said there was a second one and I thought there was a second movie, but no, there's a game. So I'm curious. May have to look into that. There is a Baba Yaga video game too, if you're into folklore games. I might play that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I might play that for all of you. It's a first person game. It's a little wonky on controls. I will say that. It's a little wonky. It is very challenging. I had a hard time defeating the first boss. That's probably why I haven't wanted to do a live stream of it, because I'd have to go back and start over because I don't really want to start from where I am. I feel bad because I'd want you to see the beginning of it. It's very well done. It's beautiful. It's a dark game, which is not really surprising. It should be. Baba Yaga is one of my favorite folk stories. I was a huge fan of the story when I was a child. I read it in a book. I don't remember what book, but it was in one of those fairy tale books, and I absolutely loved it. It's one of those like old fairy tale books. I just can't remember what one. So yeah. Anyways, so if you are interested in seeing me play that, I don't remember what the name of the game is off the top of my head. It is on Steam. I do know that. It's about all I know off the top of my head. Let me know in the comments, and maybe I won't do a live of it. Maybe I'll just do a short little video showing it off, just like the gameplay a little bit. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around to the end. And thank you so much to the new subscribers. It's amazing that I have 98 now. I remember when I only had 72, I think, and now I have 98, so that's pretty cool. So thank you so much. Welcome to the Fangdom. Next week, we'll be returning to Diablo. I am going to stick to Diablo for now, because I am loving the game so far. So stay tuned, and I hope you have a relaxing weekend. Take care until next time. Bye, everyone!